we are now going to speak about or talk about Stranger Things Season 4. The first official teaser came out with a special guest, HN Films, the host of Is It Peak?
Hello, it's me, Sakram, HN Films, and I think we're actually talking about Season 5, not Season 4.
Right, yeah, we are talking about Season 5. Yeah, I got mixed up because I've been rewatching the Season 4, teasers that they put out.
Season 4 had some pretty banger teasers, I can't lie.
I didn't like them that much, if I'm being honest. It kind of killed
Some
my
of them
hype.
were bad, like the 11 one or whatever, and also the fact that they were spread out over like 2 or 3 fucking years was pretty annoying, but looking back, I think they were pretty peak.
I don't think it did a good hyping up the show, I guess. Compared to
Yeah, I
Season
guess
3
so.
too.
True, when I was going into Season 4, I honestly just thought it was going to suck because I guess I was disillusioned at that point for some reason.
Yeah, me too. I think it was probably like the Hopper thing, because
Yeah, that really
Hopper,
wasn't a good omen to me. And also, I wasn't huge on Season 3. I know you like Season 3, but looking back,
Yeah,
I don't think it was that good.
it had its problems, but I love it. So there was like a 30-second teaser. When was that? That was like in
Like a month ago?
I think it was like March or
Wait, are we talking about Season 4 or 5?
Season 5. Did I say Season 4 again?
No, I was just confused. Yeah, no, there was the announcement, like, release date thing, like a month ago. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, because there was like the Tudum event, and it was very short.
Yeah, it didn't show much footage. The main
Yeah,
exciting thing there was the actual fucking release dates.
Yeah. I think we got the release dates and like a couple of shots of kids screaming or crying.
There's a lot going around.
Yeah. So we got the Volume 1, the first 4 episodes, which are coming out November 26th.
Is that Thanksgiving?
I think it's Thanksgiving. I'm pretty sure it's Thanksgiving.
It must be because they're also doing Christmas and New Year's, so I guess they're doing days that people have off.
I actually saw a lot of people hating that they were releasing on holidays for some reason, even though it's like perfect.
I think it's great because for me at least, Stranger Things is a bit of a family show. I always watch it with my sister and sometimes my mum, so this works out.
Yeah, me too. I guess they thought, or some people thought, that people don't like watch TV on holidays, even though I feel like that's like the thing they do after everything else.
I'm pretty sure last Christmas I actually started rewatching Stranger Things with my sister because Christmas for me at least is always like you do stuff until like noon and then the rest of the day you just do like whatever fuck you want, so you may as well watch some TV.
Yeah, it is usually watching TV.
What do you think of that release schedule? Because I think it's pretty fucking good.
Yeah, I liked it. I was worried about a couple of things. I didn't want I probably knew that they were going to do volumes, like different parts. I'm not a huge fan of that, but I thought I was really hoping they wouldn't like really spread it out, because the Duffer Brothers seemed kind of worried in an interview that they weren't going to release it in time. So
yeah, I was kind of worried that we were going to get like half a season in like December and then we wouldn't get the rest till like March or some shit, but yeah, I thought the Volume 1 and 2 thing worked really well for Season 4. And there was it was like in like a month gap, and we pretty much have the same thing here, except also with a finale tacked on at the end, which I think is actually really good, because, you know, we'll all get to experience the last episode together, sort of.
Yeah, I think it's really cool that we get like a week to like speculate about the finale before seeing it. I think that's really cool.
Yeah, I know everyone wants them to just do weekly episodes, and I do think that probably would be best, but I think this kind of little chunks thing over like a month or two really, it strikes a good middle ground between that and like the binging thing, because I do love to binge this show when it comes out. I always watch all of it at once.
Yeah, I would prefer a weekly release, but I don't know. I kind of would prefer like the entire season over the parts, but I think it's still fun.
You'd rather they just drop all of it at once instead of this?
Yeah, I think like a month break kind of like kills the pacing. I feel like, I don't know, I think it kind of kills the pacing a little. I think
well, it's going to depend how the season is structured, because last season had that really good stopping point with like the Vecna mega episode, and then the last 2 episodes. It felt natural to me, at least.
Yeah, I like Netflix with Arcane. They would do like 3 episodes like once a week, I thought that was cool. You can't really it wouldn't go very far with Stranger Things. It's only 8 episodes, but
and I feel like Stranger Things, the way it's written and like the way it's released, I guess they knew they were going to release it all at once for all the seasons, but like I feel like individual episodes don't have that much impact compared to some other shows. Like,
yeah, sure.
I don't know if I'm just talking out of my ass. I haven't watched it in a bit, but I feel like all the episodes just flow into each other, so it's kind of just like one long thing.
Yeah, like individual episodes usually don't like have a hook. It's usually like 2 or 3. They're like kind of like similar.
Yeah, they have like little kind of mini arcs or something, maybe, aren't they?
Yeah.
And each episode, yeah, they just kind of continue on from the next, with not much separation.
I assume. Well, I saw on Instagram what the Duffer Brothers said. Most of the footage for this new trailer was mostly Volume 1 with a couple of shots. I think they said there's like a couple of shots from Episode 7, but it's primarily from the first volume. And they directed.
I have a feeling. I was just gonna say, I feel like last season they also did this, like, oh, it's only all footage from the first whatever, and then it was actually just footage from all of the stuff. Like there was plenty of finale footage in the Stranger Things 4 material, so I assume it's the same thing here, honestly.
Yeah, I did rewatch. I forgot which one it was, but there was a trailer for Volume 1 where it like showed 11 blowing up the facility in like Nevada.
And Eddie on the guitar.
Yeah, it did. So it could be just like trying to subvert expectations a little.
Although I have a feeling it'll be harder to tell this time because I feel like there's just going to be a lot more #epic action just constantly happening throughout the season, which has me worried, but we'll get back to that.
Yeah. So Episode 1 and 2 and 4 are written and directed by the Duffer Brothers, but then Episode 3 is directed by Frank Darabont, who is the director of Shawshank Redemption, and I think he was the showrunner of The Walking Dead, I guess, before, like, for only season 1 of that show. And I don't think this is his first time directing in a while, so it'll be interesting why they chose Frank Darabont, I guess, for Episode 3, or maybe there's no reason at all for it.
So he hasn't done any Stranger Things episodes?
Yeah, I think... Yeah, he also hasn't directed... I don't think he's directed any episodes since he was fired from The Walking Dead, or stepped down from The Walking Dead, which was like 2008? I forgot when. 9? Something like that. So it's been a while.
You know, directing TV episodes is a lot less intensive than directing like a movie or something. But they all basically feel the same anyway, no matter who's directing, so I'm not really too fussed.
Yeah, for sure. Sean Levy directed...
Sean Levy's gotten away with directing Stranger Things, and he's the worst guy to ever live, so I think we'll be fine.
Yeah, he's not a good director at all, but the show makes him look like a decent director.
He just happens to keep directing like really good episodes of Stranger Things.
Yeah, he usually gets the good ones.
Yeah, he always did episode 3 and 4 of previous seasons, but this time I think he's doing like 6 or 7 or something because he was filming some other bullshit.
Yeah, I don't know what he's working on anymore. I don't know. It's
Star Wars Starfighter.
Oh yeah.
Slop.
Yeah. So the first thing I noticed with the trailer was that there was a scene with Matt's out of the hospital already.
Yeah, I saw that. Like Lucas was holding her.
Yeah.
Although she was probably still unconscious.
Yeah, it'd be interesting. They're just like dragging her along to who knows where.
Yeah, Max is the one wild card element, but I have no idea what they're doing with her. And I have a feeling no matter whatever they do is just not going to be very satisfying.
Yeah, I kind of initially, like from the season 4 finale, kind of thought it would be like maybe Vecna will possess her or something. So I guess we'll see with that.
Yeah, that was kind of what most people were thinking, that she's like trapped in some kind of limbo or something and he's involved, which, although I don't think we'll see like a possessed Max walking around. There's also the fact that all her bones are broken, which is something that they need to get around at some point.
Yeah. I think there was a scene in the trailer where like Demogorgons, I'm pretty sure in the hospital where she is, because she's in the gown and they're surrounded by Demogorgons. I'm pretty sure that was in the hospital, so maybe they had to escape or something.
Maybe Vecna sent the demo dogs there to like lure them to there or something. I don't fucking know.
To a trap or something.
Yeah, some wacky evil shenanigans going on there.
And then I also noticed Karen and Holly where like I'm pretty sure it's a bathtub. They were in some body of water inside, and I think a Demogorgon was surrounding them, which is interesting because I don't think they've ever encountered the other side of the show.
Yeah, well, that's definitely happening this time because what episode 2 is the vanishing of Holly. No spoilers on
Yeah,
it.
well, yeah, I think it's called the vanishing of, and I guess I think
Then they blurted it out, but
title.
it's definitely the vanishing of Holly because I don't know how closely you've been following this shit like the past few years, but there were like a lot of things going around about Holly's gonna get kidnapped.
Yeah, I
and that
didn't
lines
follow
up with
too
what we're
much.
seeing.
Didn't follow too much, but yeah, I did see like the episode's called Vanishing of Holly, and she'll have like a bigger role this season. I don't know how big because she might be vanished.
Well, they recast her like her actress to someone who's not a baby, so
Yeah,
she's definitely getting some kind of thing going on.
maybe a parallel of Will in season 1.
They do love those season 1 callbacks.
Yeah, I mean shows in general, I feel like really try to call back to the first season for final seasons. Not sure why.
Yeah,
but
the Duffers seem to be fucking obsessed with season 1, so it's definitely like we're separating the characters into somewhat similar groups and all like, oh, it's coming full circle. And there's also like loose plot threads from season 4 with like the upside down stopping on the day it will vanish. So there's definitely going to be a lot of that going on.
Yeah, I think it's pretty clear Will's gonna be. I feel like he's gonna be like the main focus of the season.
Which will probably be a detriment.
Yeah, but hopefully there's enough. Well, I like Will, but there's better characters, obviously. But I think there'll be enough to.
I mean, when he's given good material, like in season 2, then he's good. I just hate Noah Schnapp's stupid face.
And he's a bad actor, and a bad person probably.
Do you not think he's good in season 2? I feel like a lot of people like him in season 2.
I think he's good in season 2. Actually, I don't think he's that bad. I think he's decent in season 4 too. Not amazing or anything, but
Yeah, I didn't like that whole thing with him and Mike, but I think he did good in that scene where he's like crying about it. He does a good cry. He's always crying about something.
yeah, I like that scene. I noticed the trailer was like really dark. Like almost not every scene, but I had to feel like 90% of the scenes in the trailer were dark. Like, and even like more dark than dark scenes usually are in the show.
Yeah, a lot of fucking real blue, dark, upside down kind of shit. And, you know, I guess it's a final season. It's got to be really dark and scary. But I hope we do get some nice daylight scenes. Is that too much to ask for?
Yeah, it does seem like there's gonna be a lot of upside down. Like probably like in every single episode there's gonna be upside down.
Well, I mean,
which
the
I don't
upside
know how
down and the real world are like basically the same thing at this point, I assume.
Yeah, they are, but they're like actually upside down. I think in scenes like there's a lot of them. There's like the scene where like Steve is like driving a car in the upside down, and all.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff going on, and it's not like getting up to the upside down is pretty difficult anymore. It's not like last season where they had to try to find gates. Like there's a giant hole in the ground, and I'm sure there's plenty of other entrances. So going to the upside down would be like going to the fucking grocery store.
Yeah, I would say narratively also looks really dark. Like I think there's like nothing fun going on at all, which I get, but I also like what makes the show great to me is like the balance, I guess.
Well, I can't figure out what the narrative even fucking is. Like all I'm seeing is just people fighting and screaming and yelling at each other. I hope it's not just all that and that there's some good actual character stuff. I'm sure there will be, but I don't know. I don't know what they're doing, honestly. I see Dustin looking at Eddie's grave, and I hope his whole plot isn't just him being sad about Eddie, like a repeat of Max and even Nancy in season 2 and Bob. I don't know.
Yeah, I was kind of worried about that. Like, I feel like we don't need much more for Eddie. He kind of.
I'm sure they'll fucking have a Eddie fucking like possession or like scene like that one with Billy in season 4. They're gonna do that fucking thing again. Bet you $1 million.
Also, I was kind of wondering. There's a scene or a couple scenes where Dustin looks beat up, and I was wondering if that was like because of like Eddie haters or whatever.
That I'm like 90% sure that is the case. I saw things about that a while ago. That like he's gonna like be at Eddie's grave, which we see him in. Some thugs will come and beat him up because he's still rocking like the Hellfire merch as well, which is probably not a good idea.
Yeah, and I feel like the last thing we need, the season seems like a lot's going on. I feel like the last thing we need is like more Eddie shit. But
well, honestly, the way season 4 ended, I feel like they could have ended the entire show in just like 1 or 2 more episodes. So I have a feeling there's not enough stuff going on, but who knows?
yeah, it just been like there's like there seems to be like tons of action and people not dying, but like there's like a lot of blood and crying. I don't know.
It's got to be epic and emotional and stuff, I guess.
Yeah. I'm sure I'll love it. I'm just a little speculative on some stuff.
We've come a long way from the early days, that's for sure.
I also noticed there's a scene with Robin, and she's looking up at like it looks like a radio tower, and I saw people speculating online. I wasn't completely sure, but people were saying that was a mind flayer, like early in season 3 when the mind flayer wasn't the mind flayer yet. It was like
just like flying around as like
stuff. Yeah.
Well, there's definitely a lot of that radio station is like a key location this season, so I'm sure it's related to that.
Yeah, I'm glad if it's the mind flayer. I'm glad it's coming back. I want to see. That's probably my favorite. Vecna's cool. But I think the Mind Flayer design was really cool.
Well, isn't the Mind Flayer just like a creation of, or not a creation, but it's just like a Vecna goon at this point? That was like a reveal.
Yeah, it is. But I love Vecna, but I think Mind Flayer. I think Mind Flayer like the best horror of the show, I'd say, for me.
It is a very cool design. There was also, back in season 4 in the Russian lab and like the last episodes, they had those like, in cages, those like particles, like the kind of Mind Flayer particles, so it could just be more of that kind of stuff.
Yeah, it could be. I would like to see it back though.
I'm sure it will be. There'll be an Avengers Assemble scene with all the fucking monsters.
Yeah, and then I've kind of had this feeling since season 4. Kind of seems like something's going on with Will. Like either he has like powers like 11, or the Mind Flayer is like, or Vecna is like in possession of him, kind of, because there was a scene or a couple scenes where his eyes are rolling back and that kind of thing.
Yeah, there's definitely more going on with him this time than just like touching his neck and being like, oh, is nearby. They're gonna do something.
Yeah, not sure what it'll be yet.
I don't really give a shit about Will, I'll be honest.
Yeah, I don't care that much, but I feel like we're gonna have to care anyways because they've made it clear
they'll make us
he's
care.
Gonna be the protagonist.
Yeah,
but
I want Mike as the protagonist, which I feel like he will be somewhat.
Maybe we'll get like a Game of Thrones type scene and Will dies in episode 4.
That would be fucking awesome. It's also not gonna happen.
Yeah, it would never happen. I'm not sure.
The whole crux of the initial show was that we have to get Will back, so we can't just have him die later on, because then it's just all fucking pointless.
Maybe they're like going crazy edgy this season.
And
the
Joyce would kill herself because Jonathan is a terrible son.
Yeah.
I wonder if I'll make Jonathan a character this time.
Yeah, there's probably gonna be more Jonathan scenes. I actually love Jonathan. I don't care.
Yeah,
I mean, that's not much.
I really like him in season 2, especially. I think he's great in that. And yeah, I feel like all the characters have been underrepresented, like the past few seasons, like Mike, Will, Jonathan. I think they're all going to be bolstered a lot this time. At least I hope so.
Yeah, Mike kind of seems like he's in the leader position, like telling people what to do, which hasn't happened.
Which he should be. Fuck yeah.
Yeah, so that'd be cool. And I thought it was cool that we got Eleven and Hopper back together because they were not. Like, they were, like, fighting together in the trailer, and that hasn't happened. I don't think that's ever happened, actually, but...
11 and Hopper. Cool. I mean, there's in season 2 when they're going to the lab at the end, and he's, like, shooting shit, and she's, like, throwing her hand at the gate to close it.
Yeah, and they get, like, barely any scenes that are, like, fighting in season 3.
I mean, the fact that Hopper's still around is just not something I still like. Either he's just going to do nothing this season, and it won't be justified, or... they'll actually give him some kind of character, and I'll be like, oh my god, it's a good thing they did bring him back, but who knows, I doubt it. Yeah,
I mean, they should have just kept him dead, but I still like him a lot, so I can't be too mad at it, but still. So there was like a truck, and I think Murray was driving it, and there's like a Demogorgon that jumps on it. I think it's gonna be like one of the main like sequences of the first volume. And I saw people joking that Murray will die.
I haven't seen him in any of the trailers. Is he there?
Yeah, he's you can barely see. He's like briefly. You can see him. It's like very quick.
I mean, he would be a very easy character to kill off and like get some kind of, because he's so disposable. It's not even funny. Like, they didn't even show him in, like, the epilogue of Season 4. So, I wouldn't be surprised if they kill him off, but I also wouldn't be surprised if they just don't. 50-50.
So, how did you think this compared, like, to the other... I feel like this is the first main trailer. How do you think it compared to the other ones for other seasons?
From previous seasons?
Yeah.
This is easily the worst one. The Season 3 trailer especially had me fucking excited. I don't know if you remember way back when.
Yeah.
2019.
Really
that
awesome.
first trailer was fucking awesome, and it looked so like bright and colorful and different. And I mean, obviously this season shouldn't be bright and colorful because it's like the last or whatever. But it just looks like exactly what I was expecting. Just like a lot of people fighting in the Upside Down, and I'll need to wait until we either get some clips or just like the season itself to actually form any opinions because there's like nothing to go off here. I even thought the season 4 trailer was better with like, I don't know, once again, just like showing all the different variety. Like you got the Hawkins gang and the wacky Russia shit and the California stuff. There was just like a lot of different things to look at. Meanwhile, this is just like, we're all just in a room in a radio station and we're gonna fight things.
I would say season 4, I really did not like the season 4 teasers. I did not care for them at all. I think the only one that I kind of enjoyed was the California one, even though I was like, okay.
That trailer was fucking great. Did you?
Yeah,
I liked just like the like one of the initial ones, which was when they announced it was going to be in 2022. It just had like a couple clips, but it just got me really excited.
Yeah, I think that was cool. I just thought, I don't know, I think I was like really negative on the show at the time, but then
yeah, I was as well.
I was back once I actually watched it. And this trailer, I mean, I liked it. It just didn't get me that hyped. I think I thought the song was cool. I think that really carried it.
They need to use the fucking final countdown for the next trailer though. What are they doing? It even came out in like 1987, which is the year this season takes place in. Like, if they don't use that, they're fucking idiots. Just saying.
They'll probably use it for like some silly scene if they do use it.
They'll have an epic version remix in the finale, like they did with fucking Running Up That Hill, which was something. It was both cringe and awesome. Yeah.
Yeah, that's like the best. That's like the show to me. It's cringe and awesome at the same time.
Yeah, I think with me, like going into season 4, I was obviously really excited because it's more Stranger Things, but I also was really hesitant, and I was just so pleasantly surprised by how fucking good it was. So I'm really hoping we have a situation like that here again. But what I liked most about season 4, and I just kind of think like the whole show, is like just like all these characters just like unfolding like a cool mystery and like communicating with each other and all that. And I don't know if there's going to be some kind of awesome mystery this time around, but who knows?
If there's not mystery, we're in trouble. I think there definitely will be mystery. But
Stranger Things is always at its best when it's people trying to solve a mystery.
Yeah,
and like coming at each other from like every group, like faction across Hawkins having their own like pieces of information, and then they communicate with each other and come to a conclusion or whatever. And I guess there'll be that because they have to split the characters into groups because there's like 500 of them. So
yeah.
But I always like I always really like the first like 1 to 3 episodes of each season when it's like slowly setting things up. And I don't know if they're going to have that this time around because they're just jumping right into it, I guess.
I really hope they do because those were like some of my favorite episodes, especially for like season 3. I thought it was pretty awesome.
Season 2 is my go-to. Love that shit.
I love most of the episodes of the show, so
true.
Can't go wrong with any for me.
Keen for a rewatch.
Yeah, I'm actually rewatching right now, but I'm gonna rewatch again.
I'm gonna hold off.
Probably like right before the season. Yeah, I didn't want to just do like one rewatch now and then not rewatch it again. But yeah. And then there was also a scene 11 was flying or something. I don't know what's going on there.
That looked really bad.
I don't know. Yeah.
I think she was just doing a big jump like they do in like the Star Wars movies, just like a big Jedi jump.
Yeah.
Which I guess makes sense with her powers, but it just looked really bad. She sure was defying gravity though.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. She said she wanted to fly like Elphaba, which made me cringe.
Millie Bobby Brown needs to be put down. All right, I'm done with her.
Yeah.
She was like really good in the first like few seasons. I feel like she's just been phoning it in since like season 3, I think.
Yeah, I think she had some good scenes in season 4, but yeah, for the most part, I agree.
Like in season 4, whenever 11 was on screen was when I was the least engaged, I think. Other than maybe the Russia plot.
I think it depended on the scene.
Yeah, for sure.
I think the school bully stuff was fun, and then some of the stuff in the lab was fun.
Oh yeah, the roller rink thing was great. I love that.
Yeah. How did you think about the characters' looks for this season? Because they're a little different.
Yeah, I think they all look pretty good. Season 4 had some of the worst for like Mike, and mainly Mike. He looked really bad, but I like his new haircut, and I know everyone just looks. I like Hopper's like cool beard going on. And
yeah, I thought Hopper looked awesome.
I like that 11 doesn't have a stupid shaved head anymore. I'm done with that. I was really mad when they shaved her last season because I liked her like Joyce haircut.
Yeah, she looks better.
I still think everyone looks the best in like season 2 or maybe 3.
Yeah, I'm not sure where I'd say they look the best. I think it just honestly depends on the character.
I mean, I guess it's probably a bit weird to talk about how these characters look when we're all like children, but
Yeah.
also, I guess we should probably mention that, you know, it's been a while. They look kind of old now, but also, like, everyone on the fucking internet just latches onto that and is like, oh my god, they look so old now. But, like, what do you fucking expect? And also, it's not even, like, that bad, I don't think.
Yeah.
Season 4, it kind of distracted me mainly just for Will and maybe Mike, but, you know, like, whatever. Who cares?
I feel like most shows around, like, based on teens, they don't even look like teens ever. And they actually did look like teens in season 1 and season 2. They just got older, because that's what happens. So I think it's, like, complaining about how long it takes and how old everyone looks is like being a dead horse. Like, what's the point of even talking about it anymore? There's like no
in universe, it's been like 4 or 5 years. I think 4.5 basically years since season 1. I feel like it's not that unbelievable. Some people age pretty quick. There's a big difference between a fucking like 12-year-old and a like 16-year-old or 17-year-old even.
Yeah, I think they look. I mean, they're pretty old now. It's not like they're still in middle school or whatever. So.
Oh yeah, they're meant to be in high school.
Yeah.
Which is what, like 17, 18? I don't know how America works.
If they're almost done with high school, they're 17 or 18. Yeah.
Well, that's fucking fine, man.
I don't know what grade.
I don't think I look that much different than I did when I was 18, honestly, and now I'm 22.
Yeah, the only one I kind of noticed the age with is like Will. I think that's the only one I really noticed.
Mike looks a lot more older because he has like a mature haircut. I think like he looks with his like long ass shaggy hair in season 4. He still looked kind of young to me, but now he looks like real mature, and he's got like fucking crazy cheekbones.
Yeah, I think that's good for him to go into the role of leader again. Fits him.
And it is kind of. And it also the fact that like Nancy and Steve and Jonathan still look the same probably doesn't help, or maybe it does.
Yeah. So what do you like want the most for this season?
I want Mike to have a real presence in the story and actually do things, and I mainly want character interactions that we haven't seen before. So primarily, I guess, Will interacting with any of the new cast from like season 3 onwards, which he basically hasn't at all, and also Steve and Jonathan scenes, because we haven't seen them talk at all since season like 2.
Yeah, I mean they were together in season 4, but I don't think they really talked. It was more like Steve talking to Nancy.
Yeah, they've been in the same room a couple times, but they haven't interacted, and I want to see that because it's just like an interesting dynamic. And I guess. Do you think they're going to keep following that Steve, Jonathan, Nancy triangle, or are they going to kind of drop it after everyone hated?
I feel like they're just going for it, unless it's like, I know like with like season 1, Steve and Nancy break up, but then at season 1, I mean at the end of season 1 they're back together, so like they changed their mind on that, I think, but I think they're going to stick with this love triangle, so...
I'm just going to say there's no way that Nancy is breaking up with Jonathan, because we're in the last season now, and if Jonathan gets broken up with, he's probably going to kill himself. There's no way he can score another Nancy again. And
yeah,
Steve will just they'll just introduce some fucking random new girl character in like the last episode, in like the epilogue, and Steve will get the girl.
Yeah, they're definitely got to introduce someone to him. You can't like end the show alone.
I would actually love it if he just ended the show single. That'd be funny.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. He's just like a father figure to the kids. That'd be funny.
No, the last shot of the show is going to be flash forward 10 years. It's going to be Steve in his Winnebago with 6 children, like he was talking about in season 4.
Oh yeah.
I don't know if it'll be with Nancy, but it'll be with someone.
Yeah, maybe it's someone.
Because he's not going to die. We all know that. So.
Yeah, there's no way he dies. Dustin is more.
Well, I mean, he could die now because we don't have to worry about next season not having him. So they could easily do it. I would say it's actually like a 50-50 chance, honestly. But it's also everyone expects it. But also, there's no one else that can kill off, which would have that kind of emotional resonance So I feel like they might have to. But also, Dustin already lost Eddie last season, so he might also kill himself. I don't know.
I would like a character. My thing with the season, I do kind of want a character or two to die. I'm still gonna be okay with the show. That doesn't happen, but I feel like it's gotta happen because, like, I don't know, it's gotta happen eventually, right?
Well, I mean, I'm not really someone who watches Stranger Things for like character deaths, but I do agree that I feel like someone needs to biff it at some point, and not just some nobody like Murray or, you know, fucking, I don't know, some rando. I feel like Steve is the correct choice, but also that'd be so sad.
Yeah, I don't expect main characters to die usually in the show.
Well, after they pulled that Hopper bullshit in season 3, I'm just like, I don't care. They got me once, you know.
Yeah,
but, like, Hopper dying in like a final season would be a great like thing, except they already did it in season 3, so now they can't do it again.
Yeah, they can't do it again.
And
I have a feeling someone's gonna die, or maybe even 2 characters die. I feel like it's gonna happen. Maybe that doesn't happen, but I don't think I'll be that mad if it doesn't happen, because that's not why I watch the show.
I'll just watch it and I'll go with whatever we get, unless they do something really stupid. All we know is that none of like the core, like, quote unquote kid characters are biffing it.
Maybe, I don't know. I feel like 11 or something, she can like sacrifice herself. Maybe, I don't know.
That'd just be a repeat of season 1, which would be a pretty good member berry, which you know, the Duffers do love.
Yeah,
but also might kill himself.
Well, that'd be good. Let me get through that.
Wait, chill. Can't kill him.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Isn't the
finale
Ted called? Oh yeah, they gotta kill Ted. I wonder if he's gonna be in the midst of the upside down stuff.
I think it would be great if he's still the only character who just has no idea what's going on, even though there's a giant hole in the ground.
He's like watching TV while his wife and daughter is like in a bathtub.
That'd be so good, actually, like cutting back and forth, and he's like watching the TV is too loud, so he can't hear it. That'd actually be great. I want him to do that. That'd be Kino.
Yeah. So I guess the season comes out like 5 months from now. I think that's right.
It's still a while away.
Yeah.
I'm just happy that we know that it's coming out and we have dates. That's good enough.
Yeah, that's what I wanted. And I did want a like actual trailer after that 30-second teaser, which we got, even though it wasn't that good, but still I wanted it.
I know they'll do it like a proper trailer at some point. I hope that one actually kind of gives us an idea of what's going on.
Yeah.
Other than that, I'd honestly be fine if I just didn't release anything.
I feel like we're only going to get one more trailer before Volume 1.
Yeah, they will. They always do teaser trailer, main trailer, that's it.
Yeah, I assume like October,
there'll be like teasers for Volume 2 and the finale, I guess.
Oh yeah.
So they did like a full trailer for Volume 2 of Season 4, which was kind of weird. Although that was mostly just people fighting in the Upside Down, so it didn't really tell you much.
Yeah, I don't think I watched it. Maybe I did watch it, but at least I only watched it like once.
I think I remember you not watching it. But do you think they're going to do the really long episodes again this time? Because I really hope they don't.
I honestly think it's only going to be the finale. I feel like the finale will be long and like that's it.
I feel like they should just stick to 50-minute episodes and then maybe do the finale like, I don't know, an hour and a half or something. I've seen some people saying that finale is going to be even longer than the piggyback, which just sounds obscene. Because the piggyback was already obscene. It was fucking 2 hours and 20 minutes. That is a movie. That is like a long-ass movie. That is not an episode of TV. I feel like we can have Season 4 as this like one-off fucking crazy season. Let's streamline things a bit, please.
It didn't feel long to me, so I didn't really complain. But
yeah, I was loving it. I was loving it back then because it felt like it was worth a 3-year wait. This like giant season, but this time I just want things a bit more concise. I don't want it to be like bloated. I wouldn't say Season 4 was bloated, but there was definitely a lot going on. Yeah,
there was a lot. It felt like kind of like Game of Thrones.
Yeah, it was their Game of Thrones season. The Duffers said that.
Oh yeah, I didn't know they said that.
They did say that, yeah, because it's like this is a global. They should have had like an intro like Game of Thrones where it's like flying around a map. I would say Season 4 of Stranger Things is better than at least half the seasons of Game of Thrones.
For me, I'd say it's like better than all of it, almost.
Yeah, of course you would say that.
I mean, I would say I prefer watching maybe Season 4 of Game of Thrones, but it's like close. It's still like close to me.
All right.
And Yeah, I just wanted to mention the finale's called Right Side Up, which I was.
That's a great title. Love it.
Yeah.
I'm guessing the central thing will be eliminating the Upside Down forever, or maybe even letting it live on as part of our Earth or some shit. I don't know.
There's no shot they do that. Well, I think they're gonna.
That'd be kind of funny, though. Like
they just
Jurassic World Dominion, Stranger Things. The dinosaurs just have to coexist.
Yeah. Was there anything else you want to talk about?
Yeah, I don't really have much else. All I hope is that it's not too stupid, and there's some fun character stuff, and it's not just all action.
Yeah, I'm nervous, but I still think it's gonna be really good, or I'll love it at least.
I think the fact that they pulled off season 4, despite my reservations, has me pretty optimistic. But I do have a feeling, although I don't think it's really possible for them to like massively fuck it up like a Game of Thrones kind of thing, because this show is just not that serious, so there's not as much writing on it. I don't think. Like, I feel like it's pretty easy to write a good ending for Stranger Things, but who knows? I guess we'll see.
Yeah. At worst, the finale's like too corny, which I don't know if it's possible, but like that's like.
I'm ready for maximum corn. I'm ready for the cheese. I'm looking forward to it. I mean, what's the corniest the show's gotten? Is it the never-ending story bit?
Yeah, and I love that. I think that's probably the corniest, and I loved it.
Well, there you go, then. We're all good.
Corniest would probably be Byler being true.
Oh, fuck. I actually do want to talk about this. Do you think they'll mention... Are they going to dedicate much time to Will's sad gay life, or are they just going to ignore it again?
I thought... Well, there was a scene in the trailer with Robin and Will. I thought maybe they would confide in each other about...
Oh, that'd be cute. That'd be nice, actually.
Yeah, I think that'd be
I feel like they kind of have to, because that was his entire character arc last season, was his gay struggles. So I feel like we need a scene where he confesses to Mike, and Mike is like, oh, that's great and all, but I really don't agree, but check out this other cool character who's showed up, who's a guy who you can hook up with. Some shit like that.
Maybe like Vecna will out him to Mike.
That'd be fucking evil, and also I could low-key see it, but I feel like the Duffers would actually get like legitimate backlash for that. It might be a bit tasteless. But I can see it like Vecna's like, ooh, I know your secret, Will. You're gay.
I think there were a lot of jokes about that. Like they were gonna.
I could see that happening.
Yeah.
They'll have to address it in some way at least. It'd be pretty funny if they just ignore it though.
I don't think there's no shot they ignore it just because like the fans. I don't know if he'll get a love interest, but they'll do. I think they'll do enough to satisfy the fans. I
think they'll do. He confesses and all that, and it's all good. And then like in the epilogue montage or whatever, which they'll have, like there'll be some scene where he notices some guy, and the guy notices him, and they look like into each other, and that's what that'll be it.
Yeah, the finale might be really long just because all the characters getting like Steve and Will getting new like people.
They're gonna have like a Return of a King, fucking just 25 endings.
Oh yeah, I could totally see it.
Well, I mean, the epilogue of season 4 was like, I saw it was like half an hour long, or like 20 minutes or some shit, and even that felt rushed. So yeah, I'm expecting a lot of that.
Yeah, I don't think I have anything else. Yeah.
I will be watching as soon as it comes out.
Hopefully it's good, and hopefully maybe we'll see you back here for the next trailer or final trailer.
Absolutely.
Okay, and that's it for our conversation on season 5 of Stranger Things, mainly the teaser. And make sure to check out Is It Peak, and we'll see you next time. We are now going to talk about the new Ari Aster film, Eddington, with SourBacon or aka Adrian. Which one would you rather go by?
Adrian is fine, you know.
Okay. So before we get into the movie, I kind of want to talk about previous Ari Aster movies. He's kind of a polarizing figure through film circles. So I just kind of want to talk about that before we get into the movie.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So I I'm actually not a big fan of Hereditary. I
I
haven't,
did see that. I did see
yeah,
that.
yeah, I haven't revisited it in a while, but I'm just not a big fan of it. And um, Midsummer is where I was like, okay, I think that was like more my groove. I
Yeah.
think, yeah,
With I'm the same as you in a sense that I found Midsommar more appealing conceptually than Hereditary, and I always used to be like Midsommar over Hereditary, mostly because Hereditary was just like a hazy memory in the back of my mind, and I didn't really revisit it until now to catch up with his filmography, and I ended up liking it way much more than I was expecting, and I still prefer Midsommar, but Hereditary is really up there, and the attention to detail is just immaculate in that film.
yeah.
It,
I've seen it a couple times. I think it's just like from the performances to like form from Ari Aster. I think it's really excellent, and then like the messaging in the movie I really like. And yeah, it's just a really good movie. I think it's really rewatchable too. Like probably his most rewatchable movie in my
Absolutely.
opinion. Bo is Afraid, which is
Oh snap! Don't even get me started on that film. Oh my god. Prematurely on
um,
my top four. I say prematurely because I like instantly fell in love with it, and it was just such a lateral move from what um, Ari Aster has consolidated himself as, because he used to be like psychologically twisted, but this one was in a more sense like, in lack of a better word, whimsical and a little more nightmarish, just like this sort of heightened reality with Bo, uh, in contrast with his other films.
yeah,
And
I think
yeah.
yeah, it's like it's not what I expected. I didn't even think Ari Aster had something like that in him. It was like really unique, and I think a lot of people had problems with it, but I think it mostly worked. I thought it was really good. I think I may have rewatched it. I don't think so though. Maybe I did, but yeah, I definitely should revisit it. But it's like a really, I think it's probably my favorite film of his. Well, it's close
Yeah.
to Midsummer, but they're both excellent to me.
Oh man. And then what do we know? Joaquin Phoenix is back for Eddington. I love this partnership that they have. It's like the most unexpected partnership, I would say, because what we know Joaquin Phoenix is this. I mean, I would assume he's very well. He looks to be very reclusive, but Ari sort of like, unleashes him in ways that are not expected of him. Even though we know he's a great actor. I've seen him recently in You Were Never Really Here, and that really contrasts parallels a lot to what I just saw in Eddington.
That's a good movie. I haven't seen it in a while, but I think it's actually pretty similar to how Joaquin is in real life.
Hey,
Yeah, I think it's a very interesting collaboration. Well, I think Joaquin likes working. His main thing is I think he really likes working with directors who have a clear vision and know who they are as artists, like Aster obviously, and Paul Thomas Anderson,
oh yeah,
and even I don't think he's that good of a director, but I feel like he does feel that also follows Todd Phillips with the Joker movies.
oh yeah.
And yeah, I
And
think
Ari is anything but clear, or he is everything. No, no, I said that wrong. But he is very clear because um, early on he loved to just like, he already had many shots envisioned for Hereditary and Midsommar. He has that already unlocked way before even starting production.
yeah, and I think Bo is Afraid. The script is like it was like pretty old. I think it was like a decade old for not quite a decade, but it was like pretty old
Oh
before
yeah,
he
yeah.
finally got to make it.
Yeah, that's I did shortly after seeing it for the first time, but was afraid. I read the very rough draft that was supposed to star Billy Mayo, rest in peace. And yeah, no, it's just jarring to kind of see how which directions Astor's taken himself to with his filmography, because two of them have like cemented himself as this psychologically twisted fellow, and then he releases Bo, and that is just marvelously just balls to the wall. And then now with this here Eddington, revisionist western, that is what was the point I was trying to make? The point I was trying to make is that he's certainly one of the filmmakers of all time right now as we speak in this circle of the industry.
Yeah, for sure. And I think Eddington, the script for Eddington is also pretty old, but it's a very different script. It was just I haven't read the script, the old script, but I think it was just a contemporary Western without like the COVID stuff. It was before COVID even happened. I think he like rewrote it during COVID. So
Yeah, I would have loved to see like uh the way it transmogrified to kind of like be a tapestry of society back then.
yeah. So the reception for this movie kind of seems even more polarizing than Beau is Afraid was, which that was very polarizing. I felt I don't think he'd be able to top what how provocative that movie was, but it seems like he's done it. Like I
Yeah,
really don't
it broke
see.
my heart with Beau is Afraid, but with this one, I can hear the complaints, and I see where they're coming from. The biggest complaint I've heard thus far is that it's clunky. It's clunky and just a mess. Clunky and a mess. And that's
Yeah,
mostly with the thematics and the messages that Ari's trying to cast across. Um,
yeah,
which
I've
we
seen
yeah.
a lot. I've seen a lot of people not even know what they feel about the movie, which is kind of where I am. I think I'm starting to grasp how I fully feel about Eddington. I think a lot of people like don't even know what he was trying to say with the movie, and I think that's interesting because that doesn't happen too often with modern movies.
Yeah, he was the complaint is just he's trying to throw spaghetti in the wall and see if it sticks in terms of everything he was trying to convey, and it was I mean, yeah, and like I could definitely feel it in within some sequences. Like some sequences were just enthralling, they were just riveting and entrancing, but I felt in some other sequences they were definitely meandering, and it was almost like masturbatory how the messaging was it was coming across, but necessary, because it was almost it's almost it's a little heightened here and there, and obviously to get that across, at least in Ari's way, that needed to happen in that sort of way.
Yeah, I would say it's very kind of like fantastical. It's kind of realistic, but not really. It's representing our current state of affairs, but it's also very exaggerated. Actually, one of my thoughts on the movie was it kind of feels like if South Park was grounded, like that kind of thing.
uh,
I don't know though.
yeah, I saw that. I felt that too.
Yeah. So this is so Bo is Afraid was a blank seemed like a blank check for Ari Aster, and this feels like even more of a blank check. It's interesting that A24 I guess is just letting him do these movies, even though I don't think Bo is Afraid did well at all for
Oh,
A24, which is
um,
which is good that they're just letting him do whatever. It seems like they're letting him do whatever he wants because I guess they like him a lot. Because he doesn't even get awards. I don't think. I think Tony Collette got nominated for
um,
Hereditary. I think maybe, or
not from
or
the
she's a big
Academy.
snub maybe. Yeah. I think. Oh yeah, the thing was she got it was like a big major snub to people
Oh
that
yeah,
she didn't get the nomination. But I felt made sense because they usually don't go for horror movies at the Academy. But
which is
I
a
felt like
shame. Yeah.
so usually for these podcasts, I usually start where I like where we feel about the movie at the end. But I think for this movie, it's better to start how we felt about the movie and then go into everything that happened in the movie. I think that works better. And I would say I like this movie. I think I do like this movie. I think there's a lot of good, but I also think there's some stuff that just didn't work for me. And I think Ari Aster kind of, I saw what he was going for with some of the things in the movie. It just didn't, I just don't think he fully was able to convey it successfully, at least for me. And I think, yeah, there's a lot about this movie. There's so much, but yeah, I did like it. I don't think it was as good as Midsommar or I Was Afraid, but I think I need to watch it again because it could totally just change my perception on
Absolutely, because yeah, I just wanted to do a little call out to my local Regal. They chopped like 20% of the screen. This was filmed on a 185 aspect ratio, and I'm pretty sure I was watching it on like a 235. It was just abysmal because I could definitely notice the cutoff. I knew that some of the blocking wasn't making sense, and the framing. And I just wanted to boo Regal for that because yeah, speaking of rewatch, I'm definitely gonna have to do that at a better cinema because I wanted to see what uh Darius Kanji conjured up basically in this film. That's the DP. Um, he also worked on Irrational Man, which also featured Joaquin Phoenix and Emma Stone. Um,
the
and
cinematography was excellent for this movie.
oh yeah, oh there was a shot at the very end that blew my mind. It was is there spoiler talk? Are we in spoiler talk yet or no?
We can, if you want to go full spoilers, yeah, we can. We can go
Well,
there if you
well,
want.
it's not really a spoiler, but Michael takes a shot right at the, he's shooting at the end, and you can see him through the bullet hole from like before it focuses on another shot that he takes at the thingy. I don't know if you're remembering that shot that I'm trying to illustrate, but that was at the
I
very
I,
end.
I kind of remember. I also really like the shot where Joaquin is just walking through. It's like around the same time where he's like walking through like just the it's like fire everywhere. I thought it was a very
Oh
well lit shot.
yeah. Oh man, yeah. That was. Oh, that's a sequence we're gonna have to get ourselves into, but yeah.
Yeah, we will. Yeah. So what did you overall? What did you think of the movie?
So I personally think that this is Ari's weakest film because it's just been fives across the board for me for each of his films, and then this one I definitely felt its weight just collapsing in on itself, and I found myself a bit disengaged in some scenes. For some reason, I just didn't like Austin Butler in this movie. He's
Yeah,
just
me too.
like, man, he was like throwing off some scent. He was just like another element to add to this cluster frick of just of the addicts of the year 2020 and conspiracies and yeah. But I really did like a lot of elements, like the performances all around, and I was quite shocked on how little Pedro Pascal was in this film. Like to be real, he was probably on screen for about 10, 12 minutes maybe total.
Yeah.
Um, and that's not what I was there for. Realistically, I was there for Ari, I was there for Joaquin, I was there for the DP Darius, and I wanted to like when this film got announced the first day. I'm like, I'm there opening day because when I saw Bo Was Afraid in theaters, I like snuck in the first time with my younger brother who was, I think, he was like 11, 12 at the time, and I definitely
Wow.
royally messed him up with that film. Um, and yeah, just seeing an Ari Aster spectacle in theaters um, was everything to me. And this film definitely provided, although it's not as sterling. And I was definitely trying to be impartial whilst watching. I wasn't gonna be like, oh my god, just because this scene swayed me this way. I'm gonna give it a 5 star because it made me feel this way, this scene, this time. But no, I'm seeing the collective here, the whole, just like how Ari's trying to mirror or America in the year 2020. It is. I liked it. I liked it a lot, and I'm definitely gonna try to rewatch it as soon as possible, perhaps on a Tuesday, so I can get that Tuesday movie discount.
Oh yeah,
Not saying that I wouldn't watch it at full price, but um,
yeah.
trying to save that
My
money up.
my AMC, I didn't get a cropping thing issue with that when I went to AMC.
Oh yeah,
That's where I
AMC's
went to
got
see
you
it. But
covered, dude.
yeah, however, a couple of times the screen like glitched. It was like I don't know. It was like it's not like a black. It was like black and white static or something for like
Oh
a split second, like 3 times throughout the movie. It wasn't that distracting, but still.
man.
And this is, I think it's kind of funny. This is actually, like you brought up, this is the second movie Pedro Pascal's in this year
Oh yeah.
that he is in it way less than you would expect with Materialist
Oh
and now
yeah.
Eddington.
Man, they
Really
really
funny.
they really pushed him in the marketing. It's absolutely insane for both
Yeah.
films. But
Hopefully
I
that's
like
not the same as Fantastic Four.
no man.
I just want to like say like like there was like Civil War last year, which was a huge success for
Oh,
them.
I
It's
love
their
that.
highest grossing movie. And then they win again because I think Civil War is kind of similar to this movie and like with the politics basically. I think both are trying to say that something about both sides of or all sides of politics and the people involved, and also a little bit of the chase for fame. Both movies
Oh
have a
yeah.
lot of people recording for clout or recording for
Yeah.
attention or whatever they want, and even like very like a kind of like loss of humanity just for clicks, like with Civil War.
And funnily enough, I've heard the same. I heard the same critiques for Civil War. I heard that there was like a bunch of ideas and like the sequences couldn't stand on their own. Like an idea was introduced and they couldn't stand on their own. Um, and it's a whole lot like what's happening here in Eddington with the same critique. And I just find it how um like politically it's hard to keep it evenly structured without collapsing in on itself.
Yeah, I do. I think they do arrive at two different conclusions, even though I don't know if I fully understand what Ari Aster was doing with the politics of Eddington. There's a lot. I'm not even sure he wanted people to think he came to some conclusion, but I think Civil War is not really it's not really about politics, but I think Eddington is about politics. I think that is what it is about. But I think Civil War is not. It's really more about fame and violence and humanity, which that's a little bit of this movie, but I do think politics in Eddington is the elephant in the room.
Oh yeah, big time.
Yeah.
Albeit, I couldn't fully resonate with everything that was trying to be said, in the film, and I don't
Yeah, I
think
would.
like
I actually wanted to say.
yeah,
So how old were you when like COVID-19 started?
I was in 8th grade, so 13 years old when the pandemic started.
Okay.
That's baffling. I know. I mean,
Yeah. I was. I was. Let me think. I should think. I think I was 17. Yeah, I was 17. Basically, so with COVID, I think COVID's like very important to this movie, obviously.
of course.
And I just graduated. Well, I didn't graduate yet. It started my junior year of high school, and I was graduating early, so I had to finish high school during COVID. And like 17, 18, those are very formative years of your life,
Oh yeah.
a little transition in adulthood, and basically living through that with the virus was pretty surreal. And this movie is basically a time capsule back to that time. There were a lot of moments in this movie I was like, oh yeah, like especially with the young kids who are kind of like performative liberals or leftists. I
Yeah,
don't know
I
exactly what they were trying to be, but there was
yeah,
like there was like the like the Instagram black square. I remember that they put that in the movie
no, yeah.
and that kind of thing.
It's
So
almost like, yeah, because Ari did say that this is a Western, but instead of six shooters, it's phones. And
yeah, that's
is
interesting. I didn't know that. The phones have a very. I've never seen a movie. Well, yeah, I don't think I've seen a movie that where a phone is kind of a character. Like modern filmmakers have kind of been avoiding contemporary films, and if they're not, they're kind of avoiding phones for the most part. But this
especially
movie
Robert
kind of just
Eggers, yeah.
like, yeah, yeah, like Robert Eggers. But this movie kind of just like dives right into it. It does not. It's like it's right there. It's a part of the movie. I never thought I would see a movie where 4chan is on the screen. And
Oh my gosh. Yeah, it was very, yeah, it's very jarring to kind of see that period of time already being presented on the screen. And like you said, it was definitely a time capsule. Um but it was this pocket of New Mexico that, you know, we all of us in our own different regions, in our own different towns, in our own different cities, kind of experienced the pandemic in some sort of different way, whether it was radical or not. Um, but I can tell you that a lot of the things that ensued in this film, I couldn't say I've seen with my own eyes. Um, Mostly because I'm in California, but I can attest that this is definitely something that was prevalent during the time, and I think that's something that Ari nailed in terms of one of the messages behind the whole thing.
yeah, one of the things I was thinking while watching the movie was like, are people who are not chronically online even going to understand this movie? Like, I feel like you got to be chronically online, or at least you were in 2020, to kind of understand what's going on in this movie.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, yeah, and even yeah, I wouldn't say I was chronically, but I was definitely online. So when Joaquin Phoenix would bring up a little Instagram or a little TikTok, it was like, yeah, that was the time. Oh man, yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty wild. There was also a lot of scenes of Joaquin Phoenix's character Joe. He was like always like recording with his phone, or a lot of characters were recording with their phone during interactions. Like we get the scene. I really like this scene in the grocery store
Oh
with
yeah.
Joe and Ted Garcia, and there's an older man who doesn't want to wear a mask, and they're not letting him into the store. And this is kind of what starts Joe to want to run for mayor. I'm pretty sure this is like kind of what started it because he saw like there was an opportunity to do something here, and there was like tons of phones recording everything. And this is not something that's like really shown in movies where you see, well, there's the film camera, but then now there's all these other cameras, which is was really interesting. Parts of this part of
Yeah.
this movie.
That dude was the impetus of just the spiral downward because once he ran for mayor, that was just it was just an all out war to power.
I thought it was really funny. He basically had his like deputies be his campaign managers. I didn't really mention, this is a very funny movie. I think Ari Aster is actually one of the funniest filmmakers in the modern era. I don't think people really talk about it enough. Even like what was that short film he made? Strange Thing, the
Oh
Strange
yeah, there's
Thing About
strange
the
things about the
Johnsons.
Johnsons. Oh man, bro,
Yeah,
seeing that for the first
that's a
time.
very funny movie. That's honestly one of the funniest movies
Oh,
ever.
okay. Oh, but seriously, I watched that for the first time like a week ago. Oh man, Nobody told me it was that just dreary and just like, oh man, oh
It's really
buddy.
funny. It's really good. It's fucked up, sure, but I think it's really funny.
No man, especially with Billy Mayo screaming in that tub. Yeah, yeah, that's a knee
Yeah,
slapper.
that scene. Yeah. His he
uh,
has Aster has really messed up. He has messed up movies, but I think they're actually really funny. Even like Midsummer, I think is a funny movie, and Beau is Afraid was really funny. I think
yeah,
honestly, this might have. I don't know if it's funnier than Beau is Afraid, but it is. I think one of like at least top two of his funniest movies so far.
when I tell you I did not know how funny Midsommar was until I watched it on the IMAX re-release on the summer solstice. It was a semi-packed auditorium, and they were just laughing at beats that I never even chuckled at the first time watching it. I mean, like that one. There's that one scene where Pele is introducing the whole gang into the sleeping quarters, and this the lady walks in and talks about how there's watching Austin Powers in some other place, and then my whole theater just like gut laughed. Like it was just, I mean, yeah, Ari Aster's really got that comedic undertone in beneath just like everything chaotic and erratic and just like warped.
Yeah, I think one of the funniest scenes in Eddington is when Joe just shows up to Ted Garcia's fundraising party. He's Everyone's like staring at him because he's not wearing a mask, and then Katy Perry's fireworks is playing. It's a very funny scene.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I heard that Ari had like originally there was like a lot of dialogue for that scene, but Ari found that it was a moment of just behavior and just like character study because not much is said in that scene apart from a slap and some and just some yelled things, but yeah, no, that was really just like, and then the cherry on top is when he like peels off, and then the thing on top of his truck just like comes crashing down, and I think that was no, because that scene is just like it's just the calm before the storm, and it's almost like comic relief before the second half, which is just it just goes spiraling down from down there.
Yeah, there was. Yeah, I feel like I had to really go to the bathroom, like even when the
Oh,
movie
really?
started, and I was like looking for an opportunity. Okay, maybe I'll just like leave. Maybe this scene isn't that important. I was like, okay. Then there was the scene where Ted is at shows up at his house and he's watching like CNN or something. And I was about to get up. I was like, okay, this sounds like a good time to go to the bathroom. And then he just gets shot. And I'm like,
No.
what the fuck just happened?
No way. I mean, yeah, no, I made sure to take care of my pee business before I started. I mean, that was just I biked to the local Regal in my boat pajamas and just like I really hate how barren and how unsophisticatedly uncinematic my hometown is because nobody can appreciate the fine art. Nobody I've worn that boat pajama set at least a dozen times out in the open and not one person can point out that that's from Ari Aster's magnum opus, Beau is Afraid. Nobody can. Nobody can. Yeah. But
Well, it's
yeah,
probably
no.
from the hit TV show The Classroom.
Yeah, you're right. No, not even that either. It's just like, wow, man. And
Yeah,
yeah, no,
probably.
that scene was just like, oh my gosh. It was like right after the whole party too. And
Yeah,
and
what?
he
Yeah,
and
was
he's
it
just
right after the fundraising party? I
yeah,
forgot.
and right after losing his wife and everything. Um and I like how there's a lot of like things in the air about not really up in the air, but the fact that Luis, Ted, not Ted, well, I mean, it was Ted, but Luis, Joe's wife, girlfriend, whatever, used to be
Yeah,
with Ted, and I think that like we don't we see the rivalry between Ted and Joe way before we even get that knowledge. Um, and
yeah.
that
I was like wondering, like in the beginning of the movie, like it seemed like there was something going on with her, Joe, and Ted. I wasn't really sure what was going on. I think I think it worked for the movie, but I don't think it was. I don't think her character was that interesting. I think it
Oh
just
yeah,
worked for the
no.
dynamic.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, no. I think. Yeah, no. Emma Stone and Austin Butler. I mean, those two, they acted. They did, but those characters, everyone but Joe felt so. I don't know, just like a cog in the in the watch of this
The
entire
machine.
film. Yeah, in the
I
machine, just
did. I
like
did like. I liked Michael a lot,
yeah, he
and
really.
I thought Ted's son, which was he was not a good kid, but I
Oh,
thought
absolutely not.
he was like an interesting character. Same
Oh
with
yeah,
the other
definitely.
kid.
Oh yeah, and then that whole just like kind of love triangle there. Um it's
Yeah,
very
kind of a weird.
reminiscent. It's very reminiscent to, well, not love triangle, but like they were trying to go for the same girl, and
Yeah,
uh it's like jumping into like one of the more pivotal like influences of this film was like the first film that Ari keeps bringing up when talking about inspirations was The Last Picture Show, um which I had watched uh a few days ago just because he kept bringing that one up, and since that was a small town film, uh there is definitely a sort of also love triangle in that film as well that really not only reflects off of those two kids and the girl, but also Ted, Joe, and Luis. And I saw that connection between that. You haven't seen that film, but it's by I cannot pronounce his last name for the life of me. But
it's
yeah,
probably Bogdanovich.
and something like that. Yeah, that like that. You nailed it. Yeah.
Yeah, I know. I'm aware of the film. Well, I think I've only seen Paper Moon from him, but I do, which I love. So I definitely need to see last picture show. I did hear that was an influence. There was another film. He said, "Oh, Nashville." He
Yes, I
suggested
saw that too.
Nashville before the film, and
Honestly, did it's an
that's a really
Altman.
good film.
Yeah.
It's
Um,
also very bleak. At least the ending of Nashville is very bleak, like this movie is.
I wanted to watch Nashville, but I feel like because you obviously introduced me to PTA's Magnolia, which is obviously inspired is very Altman-esque in the sense that it's a mosaic of just interrelating stories. Um, and I think I want to kind of keep that film to like react to it maybe because after watching an Altman-esque film, you cannot go back, honestly. So Nashville is gonna have to go on the reaction channel, I think.
Nashville and Shortcuts are kind of Magnolia-esque. I would say Shortcuts is more Magnolia-esque. They're both very good films, but I think Magnolia is better. But yeah, the first half of the movie until they get to Ted Garcia getting assassinated by Joe is kind of it dragged for me. I was like, okay. I was like, there's that meme where it says report there, holy shit, there's 90 minutes left in this movie. That's kind of how I felt. But that last 90 minutes did go pretty fast because it was just like nonstop.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, cuz like when I saw the trailers, like there was a lot of like interweaving when I saw them trailers. I was like, okay. At the end of the trailer, Joe is just letting it loose. He's letting it rip. He's just shooting at whatever. We don't even see it. I'm like, okay, there's going to be a shootout and I need to see what that is for. But then we're just dealing with the scenes with Austin Butler and I'm just like this better culminate into something bigger, and it does because Austin Butler is the very reason why Joe's wife just ends up leaving him, and that is just because of Joe's silly actions to go for mayor and to just character assassinate Ted Garcia and his very funnily edited like promotional videos um and
Yeah,
yeah, it
I
was.
think I think so there's the obviously the scene where he thinks he can get some support by basically saying that his wife was with Ted and Ted forced her to get an abortion. and yeah, that was. I don't think she actually cared. I think she just didn't like Joe. I think she saw this as an excuse to get away from him because I don't think
Oh
she
man.
liked him. That's
Yeah,
what I
no, we
felt.
didn't see. There was no love behind it. Even the movie started with him kind of demonstrating Joe's love for his wife with the fact that he wants to
Yeah,
start a
yeah,
family.
yeah. The first scene of the movie is like his computer in the cop car and his desktop. The background on his desktop computer is his wife. Like,
Yeah,
and
very
he,
stretched out photo of his wife because he
yeah.
doesn't know how to set his thing to fit to screen.
I was gonna say I really like the character of Michael. I think he was probably for me the most interesting character in the movie, other than Joe. Joe is obviously very interesting, but I think it's kind of like the politics is kind of weird for this about of this movie for me. Kind of like the protesters are portrayed. I think they're portrayed like uh more annoying and kind of like sociopathic than the conservative crowd. I felt like it was kind of weird. I kind of got the point. Kind of like there was just like a lot of anger, and there was anger on both sides, and neither was wrong, which feels a little weird. But anyways, Michael, there's the love triangle, of a kind of weird love triangle, where Michael used to be with this white girl teenager who's kind
Oh
of
yeah.
the performative, like she's the one I mentioned earlier who posted the black screen on Instagram, and she's like posting on Twitter about BLM, and she feels he because he's black needs to protest because George Floyd. Like it's kind of insane. They're just George Floyd all over this movie. It's like
Yeah.
really gutsy. Um, but I think it's very interesting where everyone feels like not everyone, but characters related to Michael feel like he needs to because of his race. I thought he was a very interesting character, and also how he is loyal no matter what to Joe, and then Joe basically backstabs him,
And
frames him
frames them. That was
for
just
murder.
oh
Yeah,
man. There's a whole lot that I loved about this film. Like I wasn't expecting like I mentioned earlier how Pedro Pascal shows up very little. Yeah, that's cuz he dies halfway through the film and it was just such a shock and explosive. It's just like I don't know, but the gruesome factor in Ari's film seems to be getting a whole lot more, well, out there and provocative, and I love to see it because when they just shot Ted like that, I was like, whoop, and man, I just love that and not gratuitous, but it's just like definitely caught me off guard. That's what I was here for.
and then after he shoots him, he's I don't think he's very smart about what he does, but he acts like it didn't even bother him, and that
Yeah, it was.
needed to do this for he didn't ever like talk to anyone like justifying what he did. But what I noticed, he kind of like felt like he needed to do this to save the city. Like
Oh yeah,
he felt like how this is Western. He felt like a old Western hero. He
the
shot the
bad guy.
villain. Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm realizing that that's not even his first kill. The homeless guy at the bar. Yeah, that was. Oh man, there was a dude in my auditorium who was just like he was like he sat up, but he was like leaned forward, looking at his phone, which I thought was nothing, just a a really nice juxtaposition to what's going on in the movie, but. He's looking at his phone and then Joe just decides to mag dump the homeless and it just startles him so badly and it's just like wow. And yeah, no, I really yeah, that was it's just crazy kind of how everything just spiraled for Joe because Joe I almost want to envision like where it went what would have happened if it all went right. Like what would have happened if Joe didn't actually get mayor but he didn't go out on this just killing spree.
Yeah,
Um,
there was also really cool imagery when he's like I think like getting rid of the homeless guy's body, and he has a
oh,
COVID mask over his face to like cover the blood.
Yeah, I was
Interesting.
like, this is the only time he'll put it on.
Yeah,
And there was
I
a
thought that was
top-down
really.
shot where he's dragging it out of the bar, and then it like transitions from him out of the bar to out of the trunk. And yeah, I just found that. Yeah, no, I really love the cinematography in this film because uh, previous three films were by Pavel Pogorzelski, and he did a magnificent job with all three. Don't get me wrong, but then I've already was more accustomed to Darius Kanji, which he also did the cinematography from one of my top four, Bardo, False Chronicle of a Handful of Truths, and I couldn't wait to see what he did in this film, and I didn't think it was really almost kind of unfitting how they worked like this vision with this sort of like pristine cinematographer. Didn't he do Seven as well? I think Darius did Seven.
Yeah, he also did Uncut Gems,
Oh
which I
yeah,
think
that
was
too.
really good. And this year's Mickey 17, which I don't
Oh
think
yeah.
was nearly as good as Eddington. But I still like that movie.
Oh man. Um.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Before we like move on to like the ending of the movie, I just kind of want to mention Ted as a character. He's I think you're supposed to think he's gonna be the hero because but he's really not. Like from the first, I think it was the first scene where he's like telling Joe to get the homeless guy out of the bar because they're doing a meeting, and then he's like, oh, and then he's supposed to be like the left wing guy, the guy who welcomes the homeless, that just like off expectation, and then he's also really rude to his son. He like got really up close to him. It looked like he was gonna like beat him when his son was asking if he can hang out with his friends, and he got like really angry. He was like not a nice guy at all.
I mean, I feel like I can understand him though. I mean, oh man, like
Yeah, but he was like really mad.
that. Yeah, I was over the top, just a tad, just a bit. No. Oh
Yeah, I
man.
don't know when it happens so after Joe shoots him, and then he's like investigating the house with also the native police. I don't know if they're officially police. I don't know if the terminology, but there's this narratively aside and politically aside, there's this crazy scene where they show Antifa taking a
Oh
private
yeah.
plane to Eddington. I thought it was like shot. I don't know how to describe how it's shot, but it was like crazy uh
The show.
filmmaking from a filmmaking perspective, and then like they're gonna fly it. Antifa's flying into Eddington. Okay,
Yeah, I mean, yeah, and that shot with the plane, the private plane in the sun. Yeah, no, that was
yeah, that was insane.
oh, that was peak cinema right there. Yeah, no,
What do you
because
want to talk
I
about for the later of the film?
yeah, let's keep all that last I don't know. I for to me it felt like that whole like third act just felt like 30 like a whole hour. Truly, just yeah, I can't wait for that.
Yeah, it felt long, but in a good way. You probably haven't seen it, but there's this movie, Across Concrete, which is a great film, and it has a very long shooting sequence like that. I don't. They're both very excellent sequences.
Oh, and of course it's directed by this guy.
Craig
Zoller.
Zoller. Yeah, I
Yeah.
think I missed an initial, but
Yeah, I forgot what other film he did. I swear I've seen one of his films before, and then I just never got to getting to his other ones.
he did.
Uh,
What was it called? There was I forgot.
oh
There
man,
was Bone Tomahawk. I think that's probably his most popular film. It's
yeah,
like a zombie western. And then there was Brawl in Cell Block 99, which is also excellent.
so yeah, so man, what just where does the name for the town come from? I feel like there's more to it than just the name.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I don't think it's a real town.
It was
I
yeah, it was
know.
shot in Truth or Consequences, New Mexico.
Oh, interesting. I know
Uh,
he interviewed a lot of people around New Mexico for the film. Even I saw he was in the new. He was interviewed on the Big Picture podcast, which is a great podcast, and he mentioned that the sheriff Joe is based on a real sheriff in New Mexico who
Oh,
did have
really?
a dispute with the mayor. And Joaquin Phoenix, he got to meet Joaquin Phoenix, and Joaquin actually loved him. And
No.
yeah, it was very interesting to hear him talk about that and how he kind of feels like this was really an examination of like how the the world we live in now, there is no real truth. You can't just say something and everyone will accept it as a fact. It's like all conspiracy. You can't get around the conspiracies. Like you can say whatever you want and there might be someone that believes you. And he was kind of like getting like trying to get into that hysteria, which is really interesting. This is one of the most I think this is one of the most political, well, all films are political, but I do think there's like one of the most like it's it's right there. You gotta reconcile with it. Like part of I feel like part of your interpretation of this movie is how you feel about politics in general.
No,
So
buddy. And that says a lot because I'm like the most apolitical person I know.
yeah, I did hear about you, which is I did hear that, or you, I think you told me, but which was interesting that I had you come on the podcast because after I watched the movie, I was like, okay, this is gonna be interesting
Oh
because I'm
yeah.
pretty sure he's pretty apolitical or just not engaged in politics at this current moment. And I did kind of want to talk a little bit about the politics more though, because it is where some of my problems come with the movie. I do feel like its intention wasn't to make the left people in the movie kind of seem like the most annoying and the meanest and dumb. But I think it kind of just naturally that kind of happened, and I don't know how. I don't. Maybe I'll change on the rewatch. I don't know, but I do feel like the white activists were just seen as the same as Joe, where they saw opportunity and swung at it, and that's kind of for the characters. That is what happened, but this movie's kind of trying to be a representation or a mirror of 2020, and I think it's very exaggerated on both sides. So I just don't know how I fully feel about the politics yet. The Antifa stuff is insane.
Oh yeah.
Just Antifa. So yeah, I think like part of the politics is the ending in this movie where Antifa goes and kills Joe because he oh yeah, because there was a viral video that you went where he like got in someone's face and he also hit the homeless man. Those are like the two situations he got himself in. So Antifa just shows up to this low town, New Mexico. Antifa even having a private plane is not realistic.
Is that really why they pulled up? Is that
Is I'm pretty sure why did they pull up if it wasn't to kill him?
well
What was the
yeah,
reason?
yeah, but I wanted like how yeah,
I felt like the reason was they just yeah, because I think it's well this one kind of like confused a little about what the intention was because this kind of happens after Joe is reading about Antifa protesters in Portland getting kind of in a standoff with the cops, and that's kind of and then Antifa happens. So part of me thinks this is kind of his fantasy. He kind of wanted
um
this like his fantasy. He wanted to face off against the violent. This is like his perspective. The violent Antifa group. They try to kill him, and he becomes a hero. Which is not exactly what happens, but it kind of is because they get in this long shootout, and then they like leads into Eddington, and then he's about to die. But he like I'm pretty sure he gets like stabbed in the head or something. Is
that
that what
was
happens?
just yeah, that was the gnarliest visceral reaction from my auditor where he just got right in the stabbed right in the top of the head. It was just like it was so visceral the way it was filmed. It was just like double vision. and just
I thought he
very
was
quick
dead.
cuts. Oh man, yeah, no, you should be done. That's like when that one Florida man got shot in his sleep, and he was just completely fine. He woke up with a big headache though. Yeah, no, that was just like wow. Um, yeah,
Yeah,
that
and then
whole
he gets saved by the kid who was he was part of the BLM protest with the other people in the town. But then he sees this opportunity and he kind of just goes with it. Well, I'm not sure he sees someone almost dying. Actually doesn't know who it is at this current point. He doesn't know it's Antifa, and he just takes out his phone. He's taking out his phone. And he has a gun. He starts. I think that's what happens
yeah.
immediately,
Where did
where he
the
pulls
dude
out
get
his
the gun
phone.
from? Yeah, no, because it was surprising because yeah, I'm realizing you watched this yesterday, so like the thoughts are not really there. I'm watching this like truly fresh, like an hour after. Yeah, no, like because we see like Joe's over there having an asthma attack, and then this figure runs presumably in front of this red truck, and then Joe just lights it up after getting closer to it. So I assumed before Antifa and Joe started to bleed into Eddington for this huge gunfight, we saw that kid Brian, who was like by the shrine or like the remembrance of Eric, the son of Ted. And I knew that he was gonna get caught in the crossfire one way or another. So when that truck got shut up, I'm thought, oh man, oh my god, Joe just shot a civilian like that. Um, and
And
when
he
he
was.
shot, yeah, when we shot the other dude, the other one investigating the crime scene of
Oh yeah, he
Ted's,
shot him in the leg.
yeah,
Right.
that and that just popped clean off. It was like, oh yeah,
Yeah.
oh buddy, yeah. So
And
I
then
thought he
I
was
thought
done
it
for.
was very yeah, it was very funny when he was shooting at the protester. He shot like 7 or 8 times and kept missing. It was very funny. And then he got the job done, I guess.
Yeah, I'm surprised how bad Antifa's aim was. I mean, not. It was like Stormtrooper almost. It was.
To be fair, it
Sure
was probably the first time he ever shot a gun
they were run. Yeah, they were running.
and
They
holding
were
a
running
phone.
in rocky terrain. I mean, they were like just bumbling. Oh my gosh! And when Joaquin just like falls through the ceiling of their like museum, I
Oh
feel like
yeah,
that's almost emblematic in a way, like just crashing down into history, just shattering it all on the ground. He's just stumbling across, and then that really crazy tracking shot of just him falling out of that museum. That was just a really really like nice cherry on top to like everything we've um encountered like up until that point.
yeah. And then after that, so immediately I thought, oh, this kid is. I don't know if you know who he is since you're not into politics, especially since this happened in like 2020 or 20. I forgot or 2021. I was like, oh, this kid is supposed to be like Kyle Rittenhouse, who
I
was
got
the
I got a little research on him, but yeah.
okay. Yeah, I thought it was very. I think it was supposed at least heavily inspired by what happened with Kyle Rittenhouse when he shot a protester and kind of became a hero
Yeah.
and like became into like the magma sphere, which is kind of what we see with this kid. He's like, I thought it was very funny when he's like on a podcast and
Oh
like
yeah.
living in Florida. It was like very funny.
That's where that was, Florida?
Yeah, it was Florida.
Of
I moved to
course.
Florida.
Yeah. I didn't think Joe survived up until well, yeah, I didn't think he survived until we got that shot of him. Until
Yeah,
yeah, until
at
Luis's mom
there was
starts
like an
talking. Yeah.
event or something,
At
and then
Solid
I
Gold
thought,
Magikarp, which is just this is
oh
silly
yeah,
name for a AI center or something. It's not really is it really explicit what they say that center is for, but it's just like sort of
I
like
think it's
a
supposed to be for AI. It
yeah, something
is
like
AI,
that.
and I think it was like that's like based on like a Pokemon. I don't know anything about Pokemon,
Yeah,
but I read something
Magikarp.
about
Yeah,
it.
Magikarp's a lovely Pokemon. Wow, like how does Ari come up with this stuff? Oh
Yeah,
man.
I think Ari said like the thing about this movie, the big thing is that the AI data center because it starts with that and it ends with that, and I just don't fully get that part of it. I just don't. I don't think it's really about AI. and I don't know what it's trying to say about AI, or I don't know. I just don't think it was that important to the movie.
Yeah,
I just
it really wasn't, but I feel like it was really subtle because it does really start with AI and ends with AI. I feel like it's
yeah, I'm
almost
just
like
not fully sure know what it was
me
about.
neither, but what I think is that it was like it was like we were seeping in. It's like we're in the now, and that's definitely an issue, um, or just something brewing currently, and then we kind of slip back into the bigger worries of 2020. And then by the end of it all, by with the whole politics and Ted and Joe and conspiracies, we're right back to AI at the very end when Joe's living a pretty awful life with Luis's mom sleeping with uh, Joe's nurse in the same bed. I
Yeah,
mean,
that was really funny. They're all in the same bed.
oh man, yeah, and then Luis just, oh yeah, no, yeah, that's salt in the wound. That's right in the kisser when we see Luis with Austin Butler's character and she's pregnant and that's when Joe just starts kind of babbling with his asthma. He's just like he's crying
Or
as good
trying
as
to
he can
cry. I don't
handle.
think he was
Yeah, something
able to
like
cry.
that. The noises he was making, like at the latter end of the film, I was like really concerning. Like I was like, is like purposeful sound design? Is that what he's doing? I kind of like on and off. I was like forgetting that he had asthma, and he was doing that really well.
I don't know if there's much else to say unless you have stuff you want to say. I don't think I've got much else to say about the movie for now though.
I'm still pretty miffed about Regal stiffing me for 20% of that screen. I was ready for the cinematography in its unraveled fashion, and then they just stiffed me. Even though the ticket was free, they stiffed me. Yeah, I actually cannot wait to see what Ari does next. It's always a surprise because he came out with Bo is Afraid. I thought, oh, this is something special. This is gonna be something special here. And then Eddington was announced, and I'm like, oh, after Bo is Afraid, this man can do no wrong. And it's in like I was saying at the very beginning, he's taking these directions that I just never anticipated as a filmmaker. Like he's doing these really just terrifying and daunting, thrillers and then or horrors, and then he did Bo is Afraid, which is just a complete like deviation from that. And then now with Eddington, it's something a lot more grounded and just a microscope into this tiny town of Eddington, with politics and guns and power and So I really cannot envision what he has next in his little mind.
Well, on the same podcast I mentioned earlier, he said he has an idea for a Eddington sequel. He also
Oh,
said he also said he's working on a sci-fi adaptation. So he said a bunch of other things I don't even remember, but yeah, he has a lot he can do. I don't know. Eddington sequel will be interesting, but I want something new again from him. I think it'd be exciting.
yeah. I recently Square Peg, the production company ran by Ari and Lars, um they announced this sort of like networking event where there's they'll kind of bring people in and just like it's just networking for 4 days straight in Austin, Texas. They'll just be networking, and you'll be speaking face to face with some of the producers behind that company, and just try to make stuff happen. And I wanted, and I still don't know if I'm gonna apply or not, but that application fee is disgustingly extortionate, dude. It's like 150 for an
Oh
application
Jesus!
fee. Oh man, yeah, no. That's not even like guaranteeing that I get to go or anything. I mean, I love everything that Square Peg has been doing. They did Death of Unicorn, and they did The Northman, and they did um
I think they're doing Bugonia, the new.
oh yeah, they're about to do Bugonia too.
Yeah,
Yeah, I love absolutely everything they've been doing so far. It's just been banger for banger for banger, but like dude, man, that's a lot of money. That's a big investment for something that might not even be tangible.
yeah,
But
that'd be
yes,
pretty cool.
I love what Ari's doing. I wonder how Martin Scorsese thinks about this film because he
Well,
really lionized Beau is Afraid.
he's probably gonna love it. Hasn't he loved like every Aster movie, and he loves Ari Aster?
Yeah, he was infatuated with Hereditary and the sort of character study. And oh my gosh, we didn't even talk about the score of Eddington. The score of Eddington, dude, it not only it's like Bob Krillick, but it's also Daniel Pemberton, which he did score for. Wait, you don't even do you
Across
even
the
like?
Spider Verse.
Yeah, do you like Across the Spider Verse? I feel like you don't.
I love Across the Spider Verse. I
Oh,
just
okay,
wasn't the
good.
biggest
Yeah, he
fan of
did do
Into.
that. He did do that,
Yeah,
and
that's a really good score.
yeah, I was definitely noticing that through like the second half of the film, just like because Bobby Krillick, because he did Beau is Afraid also, and Midsommar, he's definitely prevalent with his flutes, and I heard a
I
lot of
think
that.
I think I think I really noticed the score in the scene where the protesters are like on the street.
Oh
It was
yeah,
like a
that
really intense scene,
too.
and the score was crazy for that
I
scene.
was like, I was like sentient at that moment. I was realizing, oh, I'm witnessing history right now. This is depraved, provocative, polarizing history right here, and I'm watching it opening day. It's lovely.
Yeah, I do think Midsommar was probably his best score solo of Aster's movies.
I wonder why Pavel didn't do cinematography for this. He was probably doing something else during the time. And I don't know. I just really love the fact that he brought Darius on board, which I hope to see him. I hope to see them collaborate soon because this is very much necessitated for um, such a weird concept with such an illustrious DP. Um, yeah, that was just gratifying to see.
Yeah, it's a it's a good movie that I do want to see again, but I don't know if I'll watch it in theaters again because it felt really long that first half.
Oh yeah,
But
no, I'm gonna have to sit
yeah,
through that. I mean, I'll be so glad to sit through that just to see the amount that was cut off my screen, just to see that be lived because I know it can be so much larger. And yeah, I really wanted to see the whole frame, but no.
it was quite the experience. It was not what I was expecting at all, not even remotely. But yeah, that's usually the experience with Ari Aster. I think he's
No,
a
yeah.
very interesting filmmaker.
Yeah, he's up there. He is definitely up there. He's doing things. He's these are the biggest swings I've ever seen. Haymaker after haymaker, and you've got to admit there's just like he is really he's got a sort of bravado in and attention to detail behind every film. You just there's definitely even if you find it that it wasn't your cup of tea, you just gotta admit that his filmmaking and his sense of direction and vision is just something of merit and something definitely worth watching even just once.
Yeah, for sure. I guess we can probably wrap up our conversation on him
Yeah,
there.
yeah, that
Just
was
want to
this was.
mention quickly, don't your new short film is out, right? Or is it even short?
Oh yeah, my new short film I've been running and shit is has been out for 2 weeks now actually. Yeah, 2 weeks ago was the release date. Um, it was a year long production. Should not have taken that long, but it did. Learned a lot of valuable lessons through that. I learned that I should probably be editing once I get the footage in and not just like have this pile of 800 clips or so just like sitting in my hard drive waiting to be proxied into the editing software. So yeah. Um but yeah, it was a very very independent short film with a zero budget and it stars me and I do a couple characters here and there, and it's about running. But there's a deeper meaning behind that running, and I think one should go figure out why the character runs for, which is just a slightly tweaked version of me because I love playing a slightly tweaked version of myself every now and then. I can't find myself to write a different character.
I have not checked it out yet, but I do want to check it out very soon. Maybe this weekend.
It's not even a short film. It's a very medium film. It's 48 minutes long. So yeah,
Yeah,
that year was justifiable in a sense.
yeah. I saw the runtime was like Is this even a short film? If it's that
Wow,
long,
yeah, yeah.
but
I
it
was
should be good because the classic's good.
Yeah. This is definitely a lateral move, a lot like with what we saw with Eddington and Bo is Afraid, in the sense that I didn't want to be just consolidated as the funny guy who did a mockumentary, but I also definitely wanted to branch out into different thematic elements, like drama. I definitely think this is a drama with a joke here and there. But yeah, that's
Was it only? Are you the only person in the movie?
unfortunately yes. But recently I have plans to make that not the case. I had I was going to shoot another short film right after this one, but that got backtracked, and it's a whole lot bigger and a whole lot better than this one because it's not just me, and it's a little. I want to go back to the absurdity. I just wanted to make this one to kind of prove that I'm not just a one trick pony.
Yeah. And so did you? So what was the camera process then? Did you have someone on the camera, or just like have the camera sitting somewhere?
Oh yeah. Okay, so I am the only person in the film, but a big shout out to my younger brother who watched Bo is Afraid with me. He was he was, oh yeah, well I guess he was the DP. I call him assistant director because I definitely was mapping out most of the shots, but he was definitely the one who had to hold the camera for the majority of the short film because it was shot outside. I also learned to not make the setting of my short film minutes before sunset because continuity stinks. You did see the movie Burning, right?
Yeah, I did. It's been a while, but yeah, I've seen it. It's good.
They that one scene where the tree are just sitting outside, and it's just sunset, um and they're just kicking it back. That scene took like a month to film because of the limited, like, the minutes that they had for the sun to be there was a lot. So that definitely kind of mirrors what I had to go through myself because I would shoot minutes before sunset and then it wouldn't look and match correctly. And yeah, that was a big um obstacle, which led to delays because I was getting haircuts and then the hair didn't match, and it was a botched thing, but it finally realized and it was finally out, and it actually has an overwhelming amount of views. I never I never expected to go over 100 so fast even, but I think the algorithm
Yeah, how
was
many
doing
views
me
does it
good.
have?
It has like 250, and I didn't even like promote it to like any people who love the classroom or anything. So if they
Yeah,
found it, they found
I
it.
just saw your channel. Saw it was out like a couple of days after. Uh, yeah, I hope for my very few viewers, I feel like I have I have like 3 viewers. I hope they go check out the short film. It's called "I've Been Running" and shit or something.
Yes, yes, yeah. Very nonchalant
Yeah,
title to a very chalant premise.
I'll definitely watch it, and maybe I'll give my thoughts briefly before on the next on my next podcast episode. Maybe I'll
I
throw
gotta
in
absolutely,
an opinion on it in the
yeah, I
beginning.
gotta check that. I gotta check this whole podcast thing out. It looks pretty tight. It looks pretty tight.
Yeah, the first episode I don't want to talk. I don't like really mentioning it
Yeah,
anymore because
I
the
was
first
like,
episode was just me.
oh man, yeah, no, I'm
Yeah,
like, where's
man.
episode one when I checked out the channel?
Yeah, it is on Spotify, but I didn't feel like re-uploading it to YouTube because it's just a solo podcast. And the very few people that did watch it that were honest did say it felt very awkward, just me
Oh,
speaking into the void. But on the second episode, we I talked about Superman with my friend Dan. I thought it was pretty good. And this episode will also have
yeah, okay, yeah, yeah, that, yeah.
hopefully we'll have you on for another maybe I don't know, we'll see.
Oh yeah, I would
But
love to come back and discuss. Yeah, this was a very riveting conversation, I must say. Very intellectually stimulating.
yeah, it was a
And
good one.
my first podcast out of hopefully many, and out of there and out in the world of podcasts. Wow. Cuz I always thought it was like I always thought it was a little podcast material. I feel like I definitely contribute some sort of viewpoint. Just
Yeah, I did. Why I want. Well, I thought of you because you're like the Ari Aster super fan to me.
Oh,
I thought of you.
absolutely. I just,
So I was
just
like, okay, this might be a good night to night.
yeah, it was great. Thank you for inviting me to Behind the Screen.
Of course, and I. That is the end of our conversation with
That's
Adrian on Eddington, and we will see you next week for Fantastic Four and the ending of the manga Vinland Saga with Dan and potentially other guests. And thank you for listening.